all-American half pound of sweet pure beef patty, lettuce, tomato.
Singles going steady.
This is Singles Going Steady, the podcast dedicated to exploring great singles with a particular eye to the punk, new wave, and DIY eras of the last century. I'm Steve, Rude Boy McGowan.
And I'm Rudy, Adrienne Meddock. And we're in a band, the Beef People, who released a single in 1986 on our own label, Zub Records. But we're also record collectors and passionate, especially about the expression of pop music perfection that is the single recording. Exploring the mystery of what makes for a great single is what propelled us to begin this podcast, which is number
029, Rude Boys and Rude Girls, and our special single is by The Specials. Their very first single on Two Tone Records in 1979 called Gangsters.
In Two Tone Records, what was that?
Well, The Specials were a band from Coventry in England, and they were a multiracial band. They were part of the first ska revival, along with the English Beat, who we've discussed in a previous podcast, and Madness and The Selector. And they immediately formed their own label with the iconic black and white check on everything.
Which is emblematic of the ska.
Right. Black and white together.
Thing. Right.
Mm-hmm. They had a very interesting sort of DIY ethic of their own.
And because it was DIY and very artist positive, mm-hmm. their deal with their artists that recorded with them is that they were only bound for a single. Mm-hmm. So, which is great positive opportunity for bands, but it's also lousy for the label because people record something, it makes a splash, and then they're off to someone else. But of course, the Specials were the house band,
right? And they did quite well on their own. So this single, it's a standalone single in the UK as their first single. It was included on some versions of the first Specials album, just called The Specials in the US. It is not on the UK version, and the first Specials record is produced by our pal Elvis Costello.
Yeah, our personal friend.
Yes. We like to think of him as our friend, although we've never met him. And
hey, we did meet him. But remember, I got his autograph outside the Fox Theater. Okay. So that's not really meeting.
Well, you met him. I didn't meet him. I was too scared. But
you pushed me in front of you to get the autograph.
Exactly. So Elvis produced it. He pretty much did a hands-off thing. He let them do their thing. And Gangsters is it's very emblematic of what the Specials were about the concrete jungle life of urban Britain, how things are kind of tough, economically tough to find a job. The particular story for this song involves them on tour with The Clash in Europe, and some kerfuffle with a hotel that wanted to keep some of their equipment till the bill was paid. So, and there's also a line in there about Bernie Rhodes. They're the manager for The Clash and was the Specials manager for a hot minute. So they're railing against a few things. Let's go ahead and listen from 1979, The Specials and Gangsters, Two Tone Records.
You've been threatened by
Okay, the Specials and Gangsters. A great little ska thing there. It's got the great upstroked guitar and the kind of murky bass sound. It's just a great little tune. And a little bit ominous sounding, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's certainly atmospheric.
Yes.
And the video portrays that as well, which
Right.
was done by someone we've mentioned before, correct?
Well, now we were thinking about the Ghost Town video.
Oh, I am.
Yeah. We watched
It's
a couple
all
of
running
Specials
together.
videos.
We had sort of a mini marathon.
Yeah, the Gangsters video is very cool, though. It's in
It is very
black
cool.
and white.
And it's very atmospheric.
And unlike a lot of the videos from that period around the early 80s that look like they're being beamed in from the 50s now because the videos deteriorated so badly, the Specials video looked really good. It's
Yeah,
in black and white, and they're all wearing shades and
Pristine, no loss of quality.
they're mugging for the camera, and they look like they're fun and they look threatening at the same time. So
Two-tone all the way.
yes,
Black and white.
all the way, definitely. So when we're talking about this band, they were probably the most political of the ska bands. Definitely talking about life in Britain, about things being hard, about personal choices. There's a lot going on in their lyrics, and
It's definitely Thatcher's England.
yes, Lady Thatcher, and
Pre-Lady Thatcher.
Yes, exactly.
Thatcher, but pre-Lady.
yes. Pre-iron, pre-lady. So the band would go on to do the first record, which is just kind of a touchstone of the ska revival, and then the second record kind of devolved into more of a Muzak kind of thing. Jerry Dammers, the leader of the band, was doing all kinds of crazy things with beatboxes and elevator type music, and it's one of my favorite records, but it's very out there, the second Specials record. And they didn't last very long, unfortunately, but they did form. Jerry went on to continue with the Special AKA, which was very famous for doing the Free Nelson Mandela song, and
Which is a great song. I'm glad they freed Nelson Mandela,
Right.
but I guess you can play that song to celebrate how he was
Yes.
freed. But it's a case of a song that had I sing it in my head a lot,
Yes.
but it's like definitely dated and didn't have any staying power.
No,
as,
I mean-
as a song. I guess it worked.
luckily
they freed him.
he was freed.
It worked. It worked.
yes, so write a song, kids.
Small
Maybe
sacrifices,
it'll happen.
right?
And so he continued with the Special AKA. They didn't do a whole lot, but they did some really great tunes. And the three front guys from the Specials did the Fun Boy 3, who we discussed in the Go-Go's podcast, Our Lips Are Sealed. They were a thing for a few years, and they had a few hits. And they also did some songs with Bananarama. And
The 3 boys, 3 girls sort of thing.
exactly, the Brady Bunch. And
Marsha.
so I never saw the Specials. Did you?
I never did.
No, we were talking about seeing them on TV. I know they were on Saturday Night Live, and I do vaguely remember seeing them. I think it was in 1979, and it was really just amazing to catch them, actually playing in the flesh, and because they were one of those bands that even when they did come to America, they only played like 3 or 4 cities. And it would always be, Boston, Chicago, New York, L.A. And so your Southern fans didn't get to see you.
Only see the tribute band, the bands inspired by the Specials.
Right. Like the Pressure Boys.
Yeah, like Chapel Hills
mention them again.
and Pressure Boys.
Yes.
And then the revival in the 90s.
Right, all the other-
Specials were
the slew of
incredibly
ska bands.
influential there.
So we love this single, Gangsters. This is a tough one to discuss, like who might cover it. And we noticed flipping through YouTube that No Doubt had covered it, which is kind of predictable. I can't really think of anyone else, though. Can you?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, it's so atmospheric. It has
Right.
and of a time and place, so it doesn't really seem like it would be something that would lend itself to interpretation by another.
Yeah, I would like to hear if the word you used was atmospheric. So I would like to hear somebody from a different sort of genre cover it, like somebody like Depeche Mode or something like that.
You don't want to hear someone with an acoustic guitar on
No,
YouTube.
no.
Vocal fry.
Right, exactly. Do we have a recommendation?
I guess I'm
Besides Pizza City?
right. Yeah, don't sleep on your local cheap pizzeria. 'Cause
Absolutely.
that's good stuff.
Here in Greenville, South Carolina, we have a place called Pizza City. You can get 2 slices with 1 topping and a drink for $5 and something. And it's
That
pretty
is great
amazing.
value for money.
Yes, it really, really is, and it's good pizza. Good folks. So I would recommend the First Specials album for sure. If you don't have it, you need to get it. It's a thing of its time. You don't hear music like that so much anymore. Even the later ska-influenced bands don't do it the way the Specials did. They were the real deal, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting just having listened to the English beat, how different the sounds are
Yes.
between the two.
Yeah, they get lumped together, but the sound is completely...
Yeah, there's a seriousness to the Specials, even when they're being joyful.
Right.
It's sort of...
Yeah, a little bit of a grimness to them.
Yeah, grim and gritty.
Yes. And I think Elvis did a really good job producing that record.
Oh, yes.
He really did. So that's it for us today. This is 1979, Two-Tone Records, The Specials, and Gangsters. We appreciate you talking with us today, and we will see you next time.
See you.
Bye now.
To learn more about the artists and recordings we just talked about, visit our website at zubrecords.com and click on the Singles Going Steady icon.
You'll also find links to the persons, places, and things we recommend, and much more.
You can find episodes of Singles Going Steady on our website or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Singles Going Steady is brought to you by the power and majesty of Zub Records.
Zub Records. Smart sounds for sharp people.